look, schedule a game of kick the can. You're supposed to kick the can, and they kick the can of ETSU all the way back to East Tennessee State. Congratulations, that's good. Passing numbers, we can go ahead and put those up. They look good. The passing game numbers were pretty positive. I don't know if we've got, there we go. Aguilar, 23 of 31, 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and big key, no interceptions on the season so far. Chris Brazel, 9 catches, 125, 2 touchdowns. Mike Matthews, 6 catches, 111 and a touchdown. Braylon Staley had 5 catches. Miles Kitzelman had 3 catches. My question, and I will start with Mike Stoll. Numbers look good. You're playing against so-so competition. How do you feel about the pass game so far and how it looked yesterday when you put it in terms of Georgia's next?
Well, I think if you look at the way that he's played and talking about school, he has passed the quizzes. There are quizzes so far. Syracuse, ETSU, those are quizzes. Now he's got a big exam coming up. And so he's done what he's supposed to do. He's not thrown the interceptions. I think he's thrown the ball and known, and he's shown where his checkdowns are. So he's showing that he understands, hey, this is my outlet. These are the guys that I throw to if my guys aren't open. What I think I see is he is waiting to throw the ball when the receiver gets open versus I'm going to throw the ball because I know the receiver's getting open. And so he's not seeing that gel yet. And that's on the receivers, and that's on him as well. So he's like, okay, he's not open. I'm going to throw to my check down. So he's checking down too soon versus going, okay, he's going to be open. I'm throwing and I'm anticipating. So the anticipation is not quite there yet.
I thought he was really accurate throwing the football in particular. Well, he only played the first half. But he out of his first 20 or so
He was
passes.
much better in the first half than he was in the second half.
Yeah,
Well, he didn't.
first quarter.
Yeah, he was
But he didn't hardly miss a throw through the first 20 passes he attempted. He threw one away. The rest of them were pretty much on target. So, I mean, that's better than what I saw when Tennessee played Austin Peay a few years ago, right?
Oh, yeah.
So he did his job. He was accurate. For the most part, the receivers caught passes. 2 of them had 100
He had
yards.
a couple drops, I thought.
So, for the most part.
Yeah.
So I thought the passing game looks better. Now, it is a completely different test. Yeah. You know, you're going from simple math to calculus. So this is going to be very difficult to deal with. Although Georgia, you know, when you watch them, they're gettable. We'll see if Tennessee can get them.
They didn't look great yesterday in their own kick-the-can game. Now, that was a weird one that they moved the start time up an hour on everybody. So I don't know how that would impact a player if we're going to be starting here. And they had thunderstorms. They moved it up, and they looked disjointed and sloppy.
And you had a long halftime delay as well.
Yeah. So that was a weird game, but it's a test for both teams. There's no question. In terms of the pass game so far, being the pass protection, being the receivers catching the ball, getting open, or Aguilar making good decisions. What are your thoughts on the pass game that you've seen through 2 games?
I mean, just he looks comfortable in this system for sure. And, I mean, the one thing that I do want to commend him on is it seems like he got into the film room this week after the Syracuse game, didn't see, you know, it felt like in Syracuse a lot of his quick pass, bubble screens, all that kind of stuff, they were sailing over our guys' heads. It didn't seem like today you saw a lot of that today. There was a couple passes that were thrown behind the receiver at times, but all in all, ball placement was a lot better. And I really thought our receivers took a big step forward to where they need to be. You know, majority of that game, you saw the same 3 guys, Staley, Matthews, and Brazel in there the entire time. So if those are the guys that they're going to rely on, having big yards numbers like Brazel and Matthews had that game is what you're going to need continuing down this season.
I expected more deep shots yesterday. The one I got was one pass that I don't think he was wise to throw it. Spectacular play by Mike Matthews to track it and get it. But you typically don't want to have 2 receivers right next to each other and you kind of throw it up for grabs. Against Georgia, that might not be a touchdown. But I didn't see a lot of the deep shots, which I expected to see. Did Tennessee have receivers, for those of you who were in the stadium yesterday, did Tennessee have receivers running open that he wasn't throwing it to? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And that's what I refer to in the fact that, you know, he is trying to show, hey, first of all, I think everybody's like, oh, he threw a lot of interceptions at App State. So I think he's playing a focus on the fact that I'm not going to throw the interceptions. I do like the fact, you mentioned he takes coaching well. He's adjusted his footwork better. His outside passes, his quick outs, his throws were not sailing on him. I think the thing that you see is when he's going out there, again, I think it's all about a little bit of the timing of the fact of, okay, you're going, and that receiver is still breaking through his route. He's like, okay, he's not open, and I'm going to choke down. Or he's waiting for him to get open, And again, it's all about anticipation. Like, there's the window that I'm going to throw to, and I trust that my receiver is going to be there. So I think I watched, as I saw, when he would start to throw the ball out, you'd see that receiver break open. And so you're like, okay, it's there. Yeah. He's not quite in the groove with that yet. I think if he goes back and sees it on the film, we'll see if he makes that adjustment.
Well, it also may be the fact that you had a preseason camp where basically all those guys were together for the last 2 weeks, and that's it. Because you were battling at quarterback, splitting reps, your receivers were off the side or off to the side for much of those first 2 weeks. So you didn't get a full camp to get those guys and build that chemistry and know what each other likes. Will, thoughts on the passing game so far?
Yeah, it's been good so far. I mean, it's hard to pick at it. You've seen some things and corrections, but it got better yesterday in what you saw from Syracuse. The problem I still have is right now is you're not getting a lot of pressure, right? His clock is not sped up right now. He hadn't had anybody put some pressure on him early on, and then all of a sudden he's going, I've got 2.5 seconds or 2 seconds, and I got to make a decision. So you can still see him sitting back there. And like we talked about last year, Nico, a little bit, there's a difference between a pocket that's a good pocket versus non-SEC foes compared to SEC foes, because it's all of a sudden going from your home bathroom to an airplane bathroom, right? And you got to be able to throw out of that. And so I just look at that and go, okay, I see the good things when we're kind of on air and we're playing flag football, but we're about to be not in flag football anymore. And that's where you got to go see what is he going to do when he faces adversity, because he's going to get lit up a couple of times, and not just by a kind of a not a great athlete. You're going to get hit by somebody that's going to play on Sunday.
Right.
And so that's where you're going to start feeling like, what does his clock do and how does he make decisions in that part of the game?
I think it's safe to say the pass game has looked better than we anticipated at this point.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think, and the 0 interceptions is huge for me. But this is the test. Georgia's the first real test. Now, one thing that we talked about in the offseason, I had somebody that didn't like me talking about it because they got onto our YouTube channel. It's like, well, if you want to go get positive UT coverage, come over here. Watch this channel, not these guys. And it was because we kept saying, keep hearing issues about snapping the football, going all the way back to spring. Yesterday, now that guy had to sit there and go, what? I didn't know, because he went to get positive coverage. We told you there were issues at center in terms of the snaps. There were a couple of awkward ones that Aguilar had to grab against Syracuse. Yesterday, you gave up a touchdown by doing that. You do that against Georgia, you're beat.
Yeah.
Thoughts, as somebody who you were a guard who got forced to go over and play center.
Yeah.
Tell me about look, snaps happen, but we've seen a couple now through just 2 games. I don't want to see one a game. But your thoughts on what we got yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just a mix of they're trying to push tempo, and as a center, when you're trying to push tempo, especially new in that position, the snap's the last thing you got to think about. I mean, you want to make sure that snap's 100% every single time, and I mean, the fact is it's going to get squirrely on you throughout the time. It's just how well you can rein it in. Luckily for me,
hopefully not. That was pretty squirrely yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, luckily for me, I had a 6'9" quarterback that made things easier. But when you got a guy, and you got to make sure that you're getting it where he wants it to, because I mean, even snaps here or there can have drastic changes.
Changes the timing.
Exactly. So I mean, you want to try to get it in the breastplate every single time when you can, but you don't want that to be a major focus that you're focusing on at center, because if you're thinking about the snap, you're not getting anything else done.
Mike, did you ever play center?
I did.
Okay.
A few years in the CFL. So it was a little bit different.
When you were with Saskatchewan?
Well,
Shreveport.
And Shreveport.
Hey.
Billy Joe Tolliver used to get mad at me because if I snapped it and the laces weren't right where he could get it and throw it out, he would get mad.
That's how accurate you wanted it.
That's how he wanted it, and I could get it there. So it's something to work at. But I will tell you, you're absolutely right. Ollie's right. And then, okay, well, let's think about it. You got a guy across from you that's going to ETSU that probably didn't have any D1 offers. Yeah. And now you got a guy who, like Rain Cloud says over here, is playing on Sunday. That snap's really important. Then you got a guy breathing down, and then you have one bad snap, and it can roll out of you. So, that's the not only a test for Aguilar, but Pendleton's got a huge test.
As a defender, if you know you've had a guy that's had a bad snap or two. You didn't play nose
tackle.
tackle.
Kirby Smart, big play. I'm going to line, a big passing place, 3rd and long. I'm going to test the guy early on and put a guy head up on him, or have the linebacker walk right up on him and show I'm coming, and see does his discipline get, does he have more chance to have bad snaps when he has that guy right in front of him on top of him?
Jimmy, any other positive you want to close out the ETSU portion with?
Running backs. I really like Tennessee's running backs room. I'm hard pressed to find an SEC team that's got a third-team running back as good as Star Thomas.
Yeah.
He is really good. So
I'm not so sure he's not the best.
I'm not either. Yeah, he's led him in rushing the last 2 games as a third-teamer. So I think the running back room is really strong for Tennessee. It ranks with the best in the SEC, may be the best in the SEC. We'll find out as we go along, but I think that's a really strong group.
Agreed.